So I actually saw this technique for the first time while working on Smash Bros. And I saw this for Sora. So the way they actually make hair for Sora is just like this. So say this character right here, this is the reference. These are kind of like tubes, right? I could also like sculpt those in, and that kind of works for some of the characters. I think Lucas on Smash Bros. Has like a sculpturally hair, but a lot of the anime characters have like these kind of like hair cards, or they have these hair tubes like you see here. And so actually this is a really easy technique, and when you go to texture these hair tubes, you just kind of like draw in these like lines to like pretend like you have like these strands, right? And so you have these colors and you have these like these darker line strands. So I'll show you like an exposed version of this. It's just literally like a Hershey's Kiss tube in a way that's just placed in a way to make it look like a bundle of hair. So this is how it looks like without all the wire mesh, and it looks pretty dang good. For most game engines, it probably would be just fine. And so here we go. Here's the wireframe again. And I just kind of duplicated this right here. You have the hard pinch at the very end just to end it off sharply. So it kind of matches that reference again here. So the hair tubes are quite easy. One of the things they did for Sora specifically, and a few other characters, I think Sephiroth has this as well, is where they have these tubes and then they went ahead and did this. So they went ahead and like grabbed, they say this section right here, all the way to the tip right here. And I might even add the base right here. And then I'm going to do a separation. So if I separate it, and this is where you get those little hair cards on top of the tubes. So let me grab this. So then they have this hair card that's just following this hair tube, and it looks really good actually. Let me go ahead and bring this vertice kind of like inside this tube. So just kind of like tucked in a little bit. So yeah, there we go. And so this is kind of what you'd have is you'd have this separate card that just resides around the tube. And that was pretty typical of how they would run Sora, right? Or other anime characters. And I think this is going to be a big technique that's used, because all you have to do is reuse the textures already on here, duplicate those faces after you UV it even, and you have these really cheap, easy, stylized hair cards.